something that had me so frustrated on social media. I was whining like a baby. What up, Fightful fam? Shaquille Majuri here with your Fightful Fix September 12th, 2020 edition. A double whammy. We're going to take a look at UFC Vegas 11 plus Bellator 246. Michelle Waterson and Angela Hill in an epic 5-round fight. Jon Fitch retires. Juan Archuleta is the bantamweight champion, and some absolute craziness in the Mike Rodriguez-Ed Herman fight. Now, before we get started, if you could please hit subscribe and tap the notification bell. That goes such a long way to helping the channel grow, and a like on this video never hurts either. First up, Michelle Waterson and Angela Hill go back and forth in an epic 5-round fight in which Michelle Waterson earns a split decision, another tough, tightly contested loss for Angela Hill. In the eyes of many fans and media members, it was Hill who took the first 2 rounds, landing the harder shots, stumbling Waterson. Waterson turned it on in round 3 with a takedown, and from there sort of turned the tide. Hill came back strong in the 5th. I had round 5 for Angela Hill. I know it was split amongst people. She did land more significant strikes, but ultimately it was the karate hottie who earned a gritty, determined decision, and this isn't a fight that anyone other than Hill and her camp could be upset about. It was really closely contested. I think both women's stocks were elevated by it. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast. When Waterson asked what she wanted next, she said, you know what, I'm just trying to get to the title as quick as I can. I finally want to get that UFC title shot that has evaded me throughout my career. And so what she wants is the loser of the next UFC women's strawweight title fight. We don't know exactly what that's going to be, but chances are it's looking like it'll be Weili Zhang versus former champ Rose Namajunas. I think that's a little steep for Waterson right now, particularly if it's Namajunas, because they have fought before. I think what could make sense is Tatiana Suarez. I don't quite know how the schedule will line up, when Waterson is healthy and ready to fight again, when Zhang and Namajunas will fight, if that even is the fight. Tatiana Suarez has been undeniable, killing it in every fight, undefeated, and coming off of a win against Nina Ansaroff. You could put her right in a title fight, but if it lines up and Rose and Weili Zhang are going to fight down the line and Karate Hottie is ready, I don't see why we wouldn't make Michelle Waterson versus Tatiana Suarez and just, put Tatiana through one final test before she's ready for the title fight and give Michelle Waterson one last chance to make a title run. As for Angela Hill, you could match her up against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I feel like that might be a little too steep if this fight against Michelle Waterson was so competitive. I still think Angela's best years are ahead of her. If you know anything about her story, she only started training martial arts at 24 years old, so she's not quite as long in the tooth as some other fighters who are in their 30s. A lot of people think that it was a small robbery against Claudia Gadelha, that she clearly won that fight. I am of the camp that thinks that Angela very, very decisively won that fight. So Claudia has a fight coming up. Should Claudia win that fight, I'd be cool to see Claudia and Angela Hill run it back again. Now let's move on to something that had me so frustrated on social media. I was whining like a baby over this Mike Rodriguez-Ed Herman fight. First round, ultra competitive. Both guys land hard shots on the other. Round 2, this is when shit completely hit the fan. Mike Rodriguez backs up Ed Herman against the cage, hits him with a crushing knee to the body that drops Herman and drops him bad. The referee, Chris Taglioni, I know I'm pronouncing your name wrong, thought it was a low blow, so he actually pauses the action. Mike Rodriguez audibly upset. He's like, what do you mean timeout? And, Chris doubles down that it was a low blow. Ed Herman takes the full 5 minutes to recover from what in the replays was a super clear body shot. Ed Herman comes back. Mike Rodriguez continues to wail on him for the remainder of round 2. Could have arguably been stopped again. Round 3. Mike Rodriguez is in control, but Ed Herman snatches a Kimura from bottom, sweeps, and nearly breaks Mike Rodriguez's arm. Fortunately, Mike is okay. Man, I was so frustrated about this. There's so many things wrong with it. One, that was a clear TKO win for Mike Rodriguez. The fact that Ed Herman had to take the full 5 minutes to recover is a testament to how hurt he was. That should have been ruled a TKO. And, I was saying on social media, I'm like, what happens if Ed Herman makes a comeback? Can they appeal this? Should it be overturned? Because, you know, Dana White went in really hard on Chris, the referee, and for me, it was a bad call, but I wasn't standing where the ref was. I don't know what he saw. For me, this is another example of why we need more robust instant replay in MMA. The referees need to be able to amend poor decisions. We saw it at UFC 252 when the referee missed a really important eye poke that had Daniel Cormier near blind for the remainder of the fight. So it was a terrible stoppage. Dana White said that he has awarded Mike Rodriguez his complete win bonus. Dana White also, of note, said that he is going to inquire or recommend that they expand on instant replay in MMA. For me, there are two very simple solutions to this. One, you need a second referee outside of the ring. You need someone who can look at things from another vantage point and aid the first referee. Case Hartz, Luke Thomas are two people who have talked about this before. You can't expect one ref to have a complete 360 view of what's happening in the fight. Every other sport has multiple referees. Why can't we have someone on the outside to feed information to the first referee when necessary? Additionally, I know we have instant replay in some states, but it just doesn't cut it. From my understanding, the instant replay can only be used in a fight-ending sequence. I believe this deters referees from actually invoking instant replay because if they get it wrong, if it was unnecessary, they are going to prematurely end a fight, and you don't want that happening. Chris thought it was a low blow. What are you going to do, right? Instead of putting him in a position where he would have to end a fight for a call he believes he made correctly, is ludicrous. In a lot of cases, unless the referee is the one who's unsure and needs to verify it for himself, you're not going to see referees go to an instant replay for a call that they, in the moment, believe they made right. And this is not to take anything away from Ed Herman. It was an incredible comeback. He won the fight. I don't want to see his win scrubbed. I don't want to see him lose money. But Mike Rodriguez deserves his full pay, which he's getting, and I think he deserves to have that L wiped from his record. Moving on to Bellator 246, Juan Archuleta is crowned bantamweight champion after defeating Patchy Mix for the vacant strap. Full disclosure, I didn't actually get to watch much of this fight. I was doing a bunch of UFC Vegas 10 coverage at the same time. But man, Juan Archuleta, a grinder, a vet, and a guy with an incredible record who has put in the work in the gym, in his personal life, and I just want to say congratulations to him. If I'm not mistaken, he won 48-47 on two of the judges' scorecards, 49-46 on the other. And for Patchy Mix, this is a setback in what will be a really big career for him. There was a lot of talk going into this fight that Patchy Mix could be truly great, and Juan Archuleta is the test. He did not pass this time, but I think he's young, and he's got a lot of miles on him, and Patchy Mix is still a threat. Believe it. And this last story is probably the one that hits closest to me because I've interviewed Jon Fitch a number of times. He's always been very kind and very generous to me. But Jon Fitch is retired. He lost to Neiman Gracie via late second round heel hook knee bar combo. It was a very slick submission. And after the fight, Fitch put his gloves down in the cage. John McCarthy went to interview Neiman Gracie. Neiman stepped aside to give John a moment. And it was there that he said that, you know, this is his last fight. He's getting old. I think he's 42 or 43 years old. There's stuff he wants to do beyond fighting. And I thought it was really cool because he said that, you know what, for me, this is a chance to pass the torch to Neiman Gracie. And he will be a great bearer of that torch. And Jon Fitch said he would love to go down to New York and help Neiman Gracie train for an eventual fight with welterweight champ Douglas Lima. I got nothing bad to say about Jon Fitch. We don't agree on everything. There are certain stances he takes that I'm fundamentally against. However, I can only judge him based on my experiences with him. He's been a gentleman to me. He was a gentleman in this fight, a class act from my experience. What a career Jon Fitch had. Fought George St. Pierre for the UFC welterweight title. Fought Rory McDonald to a majority draw that was leaning in his favor for the Bellator welterweight title. Has wins over Jake Shields, Paul Daly, Diego Sanchez, Thiago Alves, Paulo Thiago. I mean, there's like a chain of names that are all adding up here. It's truly been a great career for him, and I do wish him nothing but the best in all of his future endeavors. And that is all for today's Fightful Fix. Let me know in the comments section if you saw the Mike Rodriguez fight. What do you think should happen? Should that fight be appealed, or no, it should stand as a win for Ed Herman? Additionally, where does Michelle Waterson go from here? We'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, the best way you can help our channel grow is by hitting subscribe, tapping the notification bell, and a like on this video never hurts. It really goes a long way, and we appreciate it very much. For Fightful MMA, I'm Shaquille Majuri. Stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.